Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gubin. Here are the stories that we're following today, August 6, 2013. In Grenada, House of Representatives approves citizenship by investment bill. In Trinidad and Tobago, people should decide on Caribbean Court of Justice. Also in Jamaica, slap import tax on corned beef, says Rainford Amiel. Second U.S. Embassy official robbed in 2 months in the Bahamas. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Hey, excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. This your boy Wyclef John, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gubin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Amros Travel. Under the new format of Grenada's Economic Citizenship and Investment Program, all persons who are approved will have to spend some time residing in the country as part of the terms and conditions to receiving a passport. And I quote, "We don't want people going out there with our passport and they have never visited the island," said Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell when he presented the Citizenship by Investment Bill for approval by the 15 members in the lower house of Parliament on Friday. He says this time we are going to be scrutinizing the way it will be implemented, while pointing out that the previous program, which was suspended, had weaknesses that were abused by some of the very people who financially benefited. He says we don't want those kinds of things repeated, so conditions for this new program will be rigorous. The program, when in effect, will be marketed and promoted by agents who must have a physical office in Grenada. The legislation also provides for the establishment of a Citizenship by Investment Committee, which will be charged with the responsibility of processing any application, which must be done by an agent who is licensed by the committee. Anyone who fails to obtain a license commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $50,000. The legislation also provides for government to establish a transformational fund where investors will have to deposit investment capital. That figure is not yet agreed, but Prime Minister Mitchell, who is also the Minister for Finance, said that $1 million is presently being considered. The names of all persons granted permanent residence and citizenship will be presented in the Parliament biannually through a report. Apart from the names, the report should also contain all who were refused citizenship and the amount the person had invested. During the 2013 budget presentation, Prime Minister Mitchell said that an economic and investment citizenship program has existed in many developed and developing countries for years and promised that Grenada will design a program that will take great care to attract clean and credit investors. Education Minister Anthony Botswain, in his support for the bill, said that the program is not about selling passports. In Trinidad and Tobago, Attorney General Anand Ramlogan says people should be allowed to decide if the Caribbean Court of Justice should replace the Privy Council as that country's final court of appeal. However, in an interview with reporters yesterday, he said making this issue part of the upcoming local government elections would not allow enough time for proper discussion on a national level, as the elections are scheduled to be held in 2 months. And I quote, "I agree with President Carmona and support the idea of referendum outlined by him, but I do not think it is one that could be dealt with within the local government elections given the proximity of the issues and its complexity." Addressing the ceremonial opening of Parliament last Friday, President Carmona called for a free vote in Parliament via secret ballot to allow members of Parliament to decide whether the CCJ should be made that country's highest court of justice. He further said if the parliamentarians are not inclined to make the change, then the matter should be dealt with through a public referendum. Carmona suggested the upcoming local government elections would be an ideal opportunity to deal with the issue. In order for the CCJ to become the final court, it would require a special majority in Parliament, which includes the opposition and independent benches. Referring to the issues that people from the different parties have toward the CCJ, Ramlogan said, there may be many interested groups and stakeholders outside the political process who should be heard. In an interview on Friday last, the AG expressed the opinion that a national referendum on the CCJ would require a certain level of social maturity so that the people can have confidence within the ability of the CCJ to administer justice on their behalf for them. The Privy Council has served us well, and the CCJ may serve us even better if given the opportunity, but that is a call that the people must make in all good conscience, he said. Two influential members of Jamaica's livestock industry on Sunday called for the imposition of an import tax on canned corned beef as part of the government's strategy to protect and resuscitate the ailing beef industry. The call came in response to a declaration by Agriculture Minister Roger Clark that government intends to extend the current assessed regime as it applies to the dairy sector to the imported fresh beef sector during his address to the Denbigh Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show in Maypen, Clarendon. A portion of the cess on dairy products, such as powdered milk, goes to the Jamaica Dairy Development Board for use in research and development, and this is what the minister is promising for the beef industry. However, while the announcement was met with applause, Dr. Keith Amiel, Corporate Affairs Manager of the Caribbean Broilers Group of Companies, and Dr. Henry Rainford, Managing Director of the Jamaica Livestock Association, believe much more needs to be done. They said that for the import tax to achieve the stated objective, it must extend to the canned corned beef, explaining that this is something for which he had long advocated. Rainford said corned beef importers have strongly opposed the proposed tax, and as a result, successive governments have failed to enact it. Amiel recommended a 2% surcharge on the canned products. He wants this percentage extended to goat's milk and goat meats. The Bahamas government has confirmed that a United States Embassy official had been robbed, the second such incident in as many months. In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that the incident occurred last Saturday and the matter had only been brought to its attention last Thursday. In late June, the Perry Christie government was forced to express regret and concern after an embassy staff member was robbed while on her way to church. Earlier this year, the U.S. Embassy urged American nationals traveling to the Bahamas to be wary of the crime situation in the country after a U.S. citizen was shot and killed during an armed robbery. The U.S. Embassy said that more than 40 people had been murdered since the start of the year, and that U.S. citizens residing in and traveling to the Bahamas to be aware of their surroundings and remain on heightened alert to avoid being a victim of crime. It said that armed robbery remains a major threat facing U.S. citizens in the Bahamas, and that since the start of the year, a number of U.S. citizens have fallen victim to the armed robbery, with some having been seriously injured in the commission of these crimes. Tourism is a major contributor to the Bahamas economy. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
5 million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.